Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP, and my first build showcase so far on Dark Souls 2. This time I am using the Bow Cleric. Now, a couple of weeks back, I put up a montage video showing this build in use. The other day I actually used it on stream, thinking I would have this video out the night of that stream I streamed earlier during the day. I thought I'd have time to do the commentary, and it turns out I was a bit wrong. So here it finally is. Now, the Bow Cleric. It was a build that I made back in Dark Souls 1 just to sort of prove that it could be done, and really for no reason other than that. I thought it sounded like an interesting idea, a bit of a challenge, and it just sounded fun. So that's how it sort of came to be, and when Dark Souls 2 came around, I knew I had to remake this build. I knew I had to do it because it's sort of a thing that I became recognized for, really. It was my most popular video back in Dark Souls 1, and, you know, it had a really good start. The montage video had a really good following to it, I suppose I would have to call it. It seemed to interest a lot of people. So, getting started with the build showcase on this one. It is a soul level of 150. It started as a deprived class. It has 30 vigor, 20 endurance, 6 vitality, I did not upgrade it at all, 25 attunement, 9 strength, and 20 dexterity, which are the requirements for my bow that I'm using. 22 adaptability because I had some points to throw around and I threw them in there. 6 intelligence, again I did not upgrade that either. And 65 faith for blinding bolt, which is really a spell on this build that is very useful for me. The rings that I'm using a third dragon ring, the Chloranthy ring, the ring of blades, and the blue clear blue stone, rather, to increase my casting speed. For my armor, I'm wearing the Nar Alma hood, which you get by killing Techy Grin, the robe of judgment, which you can pick up in the Dragon Shrine, and the Dranglake gauntlets and leggings. And I actually haven't bothered to upgrade them yet. I've been meaning to, I haven't found the time to farm for the material. As far as my weapons are concerned, I'm using a lightning short sword, a lightning dragon chime, and a lightning bow of want. Now, the bow of want is what I wanted to be the main source of damage for this build. That didn't exactly work out due to the fact that spells in this game are just incredibly damaging, and I really couldn't do anything to, make the bow the main source of damage. So, it is what it is. With the bow, though, it requires 9 strength, 20 dexterity, 18 faith, and it has a D scaling in strength, a B in dexterity, and a C in faith. The attack rating I've got with this bow is 474, and attack rating does not actually account for the damage added on by the arrows you're using, interestingly enough. So with a lightning arrow, it's adding an extra 50 physical and 140 lightning damage to this. Altogether, its lightning damage is just insane. It does 405 lightning damage alone. So even if someone is putting on a Great Magic Barrier, it's really not going to do too terribly much to hurt my damage output, which is pretty nice. For the spells that I'm using, in this video I had on Blinding Bolt, Emit Force, Heavenly Thunder, and Heal. I actually had forgotten to pick up Great Heal before I went to New Game Plus, and on stream I did that the other day. So now I've got that as well. Other than that, I do have the regular Lightning Spear. I did not pick up the Great Lightning Spear because, again, I am silly and wanted to get into PvP with this thing right away. I did not get Sunlight Spear because I don't have time for that. And I am in the process of getting Wrath of the Gods now, which is why I am in this Covenant, why I am in the Blue Sentinels Covenant. So with this build, there are very, very few instances where I will pull out the sword. It is usually in a situation where I get a guard break with Wrath of the Gods, or not Wrath of the Gods, but with Force or any of the other spells. If I get a guard break, then I will go in and switch off the chime for the sword and, go for the guard break riposte, because that would be silly not to. Although getting a headshot instead would be very satisfying, but I've yet to actually successfully do that, so maybe someday we'll get a highlight of that on stream. Who knows? Anyway, with this build, it's very fun to use. It's not very difficult to use either. It's a lot of spell spam, to be honest. A lot of spell spam, a lot of arrow cheese, and it's just really simple to use. Not everyone expects the spells to be comboed in a way that I do, and the fact that I can use spells like Heavenly Thunder and Blinding Bolt to keep people away while I'm able to shoot at them with arrows makes this very useful and very reliable. But there are a few easy ways to counter this build, the first of which is being used by this guy right here. Now, this fight did not go well for me. At the end of the fight, he actually blocks, I believe, 2 or 3 hits from my Blinding Bolt with his shield, and only takes 67 damage. The Throne Defender shield has an amazingly high lightning resistance, and is the bane of my existence on this build. As such, it's the easiest way to counter this build. All you have to do is block and then attack whenever I'm not attacking, and you're set. That's all you need to do. So that's a bit of a problem for me. As far as countering that, I honestly haven't found a way to do it yet on this build, but in time. Maybe once I get Wrath of the Gods, things will be a little different. Another thing that this build is not good at fighting against, anyone who has any ability to chase someone down. Now, if they're using a weapon that is good at chasing people down, say a long sword, straight sword class weapon rather, a curved sword class weapon, a katana, yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of trouble not being chased down. I really need to work on using my spells and using my miracles rather to give myself good distancing and keep them away from me. It's really hard to do when they've got certain weapons, and that's just something I personally need more practice with. It's very difficult though. Other things that this build is really not good at fighting against, I mean, yeah, Great Magic Barrier doesn't do too terribly much. I'm still hitting pretty decent damage against it, but it does definitely hinder the build in quite a few ways. Really though, this build isn't meant to be the most optimal thing ever. If it was, then I'd be using Throne Defender Sword or something like that, right guys? It's just a fun build to use. I have a good time with it. It's something unique and different and out of the box. Not everyone expects it. Not everyone knows how to fight against it, which is good for me. And I've been giving a few of my secrets away on how to fight it, but you know, it is what it is. Also, another thing that this build cannot easily counter is someone who's healing. There's really no good way to chase someone down if they're healing. I mean, if they do run away and I do have a clear shot at them, I can shoot them with the bow, I can get them with emit force, but chances are they're going to go around a corner and I just can't keep up in most cases, so it is what it is. But anyway, this is the last fight. I can guarantee this is not the last you will see of my bow cleric or my other bow builds. For those who are familiar with them, they will be making an appearance. If you are interested in seeing it more, stop by the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.